But Magic Mike's Last Dance works, A, because Salma Hayek is just that woman. I don't know what to do anymore. She's phenomenal in this. Like, she took my breath. I can't even speak now. Look what I'm doing. I can't talk. Hey everyone, welcome back to Candid Cinema. I'm Amanda, otherwise known as AMX NDA Reviews on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. Today I will be reviewing Magic Mike's Last Dance. Yes, his Last Dance, the third installment of this trilogy that wasn't supposed to be a trilogy, is coming to an end this weekend, and it's the perfect Valentine's Day film. Like, the most perfect Valentine's Day film that we've had in a very long time. I know we had 50 Shades. I know we had Deadpool. Yes, I consider Deadpool a Valentine's Day film. But with Magic Mike, here's the thing. And I really love the entire trilogy for this reason. I did have some thoughts about the first Magic Mike being a bit dull and boring. And that's just because it took itself way too seriously in an environment that you would want them to have fun. And I felt like the performances, except for McConaughey and Channing Tatum, were a bit rigid. Everyone else felt like they didn't want to perform in the same way that McConaughey and Tatum were performing, so they weren't at the same level. And I understand, you're literally dancing half naked in front of women, you know, and you have to exude that kind of confidence. That's why I give kudos to Matt Bomer and Joe Manganiello, who stepped it up like a little bit in XXL, and I love that. I think that the family environment in XXL and like literally speaking to each stripper and trying to create their own fantasy for their performance is something really special, because I think that people look at sex workers in a way that they don't have wants, needs, or desires. You know, they're like, this is the routine, we're going to do this, or like, this is the way you have to move in order to get X amount of money type of thing. And that's what I really liked about XXL. And then in this third one, you kind of revamp what male stripping or stripping in general is. So it's a basic teardown of what we've learned in the first two films and what Mike has learned in the first two films. And I think that this is a near perfect trilogy for what it is, because you have this grand finale of him like finding love, of him doing what he loves by still having a creative outlet for it. And I think that this is the best Magic Mike movie. I'm serious. And like, I know I gave the first Magic Mike a 2.5 out of 5. I gave Magic Mike XXL a 4 out of 5 because I like the vibe. I had a bit more fun. But Magic Mike's Last Dance works, A, because Salma Hayek is just that woman. I don't know what to do anymore. She's phenomenal in this. Like, she took my breath. I can't even speak now. Look what I'm doing. I can't talk. She had me in a trance. Forget Channing Tatum for a bit, because he's Magic Mike. He's gonna do his thing, whatever. Salma Hayek came out of left field. I know, like, she's gorgeous. I know she's hot. I know that she is like this fierce ass woman, and I love her. But holy Lord, you have not seen her like this before. And that's what surprised me. The whole film of Magic Mike's Last Dance, this whole story isn't even about Mike. It's not about Mike, but it's what Mike can do for women. It's the whole point of what this fantasy is for women. And I think that's what's so empowering about this. And that's the point that Salma Hayek, who plays Max in the film, tries to make. She's going through a divorce. Men don't listen to her. She feels like she has to constantly prove herself. And she wants these new challenges in her life. Why can't I be more than one thing? I don't want to just be a housewife. I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to start these different projects. I want to change my life every 4 years if I really wanted to. It's stuff like that this movie really explores. And I think that Salma Hayek's character is probably one of my favorite female characters in a while, just because she's going for what she wants. She sees Mike as a bartender at one of her, charity events. She has the balls to go and call him afterwards into her house. And she heard whisperings like, I hear that you dance. How much do I have to pay you to just do this one dance for me? And I think the sentiment is just so beautiful towards the end of this, is like, he only really danced as like a stripper privately, technically, for her. That was his like last stripper dance. Because what happens in like the grand finale, which I'll get into after, he performs as more than a stripper. He performs as a dancer. And I think that's what's just so different about this entire aspect. The story centers around Salma Hayek and what she's going through. And I love that we have a middle-aged woman reclaiming her identity, reclaiming what's hers because of one freaking dance. Listen, this dance that he did at the beginning of this movie, it was like 10 minutes of just, I can't even explain it to you. You have to watch it because it was like me holding my breath for 10 minutes. That's how long this opening dance felt between him and Salma Hayek. First of all, Channing Tatum is just so sure of himself. Okay? And he doesn't take this as like, oh, this is embarrassing that she has to touch me here and I have to grind on her like that. He doesn't take it as embarrassing because he's been doing it. He did it for years. This is his story. He knows what he's doing, and that's why he can move the way he can. And it's amazing. Thank you for sharing your talent, sir, because you have always been one of the most attractive leading men, and we love you for it because not only are you gorgeous, my good sir, you are freaking dork. You're so funny. You're so charming. On top of that, Channing Tatum has always been the perfect package for a leading man. He really has, and he showcases that in Magic Mike's Last Dance. I almost get emotional because, like, the first time I ever saw him was in Step Up, and it's just to follow his career this entire time has been just so special because he just keeps getting better and better. And Magic Mike's Last Dance, literally his final hurrah, and like, I have been able to make women feel something for years. And Salma Hayek, whatever she felt in that magic moment for Magic Mike during that dance, because I'm telling you right now, y'all are gonna feel it in that theater. You're gonna want to take a nice cold shower when you get back. So the whole point of that was that Salma Hayek wanted to recapture that magic. Okay? And Steven Soderbergh, I don't know what he took. I'm telling you right now, because the difference between the first Magic Mike and Magic Mike's Last Dance is just like, it's miles apart. Miles apart. Okay. Magic Mike's Last Dance had amazing camera work that it's going to stay with me because it's really hard to capture those moments and put it into the perspective of the audience watching it. It's not only them performing it and capturing the performance, it's putting it into the perspective that every single woman and gay in the audience is going to be watching this. They're going to be watching these movements, the way that you light their abs and just the way that you light the female body, like everything about these performances that Steven Soderbergh, perfected in this in a way, all made the feeling happen, all made that magic happen. There's so many things that went into making this very special, and you could feel that they left their blood, sweat, and tears on the dance floor, on that stage. They put everything into Magic Mike's Last Dance. It's just so good. So Salma Hayek's character, Max, is getting a divorce. So within the divorce, she owns the local theater. So she wanted to kind of get back at her husband, and she wanted to get rid of this like Victorian era play that had the woman choosing between, the rich man or, the poor man, but you loved him. Age-old decision. Everyone had to make that decision back in the day. She's like, why do I have to choose? Why can't I choose something completely different? Why do we even have to keep creating something like that? So she wanted to revamp through a feminist idea that women have the right to choose. It's as simple as that. You don't think about it while you're watching because you're like, yay, male strippers, woo, Channing Tatum. Like, that's what you're thinking of. But there's so much depth to this movie. There's so much depth to Salma Hayek's character that you kind of root for her more so than you root for Mike in this. And that's great because the whole purpose of Magic Mike's Last Dance is that it's for women. It's for women to feel empowered. It's for the gays too, because let me tell you, it was just a beautiful view all around. I was very happy with it. It was just so well done. I think it had a really strong story. Her daughter in the film was narrating as she was writing her novel, and she ended up working in Mike's story into her novel. And I really like that too. You have a young girl who's just so well versed. She knows a lot. And she's incredibly intelligent that she can go toe to toe with, her mom and Mike and her dad. And I thought that was really special that she was also incorporated into this entire thing. She grew to understand what her mother was doing and what her mother was going through as well. So at the same time, like the mother-daughter relationship in this was like pretty subtle and flying under the radar, but it made an impact as well towards the end of the film. And I think that it is a very female-centric film, considering that this is about Magic Mike. And I love that we took the focus off, the dancers and the stripping and made it more about how dance can unify people, and made it about how dance is a form of like emotional expression when you don't have the words to actually say what you want to say. And that is the one thing that I absolutely loved about this. And then that third act, when they change up the play and, they perform, I think that the performances were great. Again, I said this with 80 for Brady. Women past 40 can still feel something. All right. And I'm so happy that they took women who were in their like 50s and 60s and made them the focal point in this movie. I really am. Like, they were sitting on those chairs. Those men were stripping. Okay, for them. Yes. All the yes to that. That's what I want to see. Women can still feel stuff. They can. Women can still love. Women can still perform. All right. They have feelings. They need to be expressed too. You can't keep that bottled up. Everything about Magic Mike's Last Dance is female empowerment. That's it. All of it. I walked out of that theater and I was like beaming. There is a number that I'm still thinking about. Magic Mike performs with this beautiful ballerina in the final act, and he tells the story. Essentially, it's like a contemporary piece. He tells the story that, how Max was going to leave him, right? So they had the argument in the rain. She was going to the car. This isn't going to work out. She basically broke up with him. He's like, no, I'm still driving this home. I'm doing this performance. So he called a plumber, okay? And he made it rain. Literally, there was rain coming from the ceiling, and they gave this outstanding performance. Because again, when you don't have the words at all, physical intimacy is more than that. You can express more than words through physical intimacy, through dance. That's what they did in that final performance. And it was gorgeous. It was absolutely gorgeous work. And I felt for them. I loved every single second, because it's not just sexuality and sex and like all of that. It's more sensuality, meaning, emotion, connection. That's what they're giving in Magic Mike's Last Dance. I absolutely loved this. Again, Steven Soderbergh, you just went all out. You're like, this is going to be the last one? Okay, we're going out for Magic Mike's Last Dance. And he did it. When I mean he went full out, he went full out. And he had fun with this. I could tell he had more fun with this one than the first one. It still feels like the first one a bit, but there's a whole lot of XXL that's like thrown in there. There's a whole lot of the Magic Mike Live stage show that Channing went on to do in here, because the stage performance is very different. Like, theater performing is very different than just straight up stripping on a stage. It's completely different. These are dancers and they are all incredible. And I think working in the Magic Mike Live show really helped the storyline and really helped that third act truly shine into something amazing. So I'm giving Magic Mike's Last Dance a 4.5 out of 5. So just to recap, I gave the first Magic Mike a 2.5 out of 5. I gave Magic Mike XXL a 4 out of 5. And now I'm giving Magic Mike's Last Dance 4.5 out of 5. Okay? You thought you were going to be fanning yourself after the dance performances in the first two movies. I suggest you get a big cup of ice okay, and a fan for what you're going to encounter in Magic Mike's Last Dance. Because right from the opening, it's about intimacy. It's about connection. And that's what dance is capable of. It's not just stripping. It's more than just stripping. Because to be able to strip, you have to be able to dance and connect with people and express yourself for every single person. And everyone in that audience feels exactly the same, which is amazing to feel something in unity. I know you'll love it too. Please go watch it this Valentine's Day weekend. I know the Valentine's Day is on the Tuesday, so you kind of have a split weekend. Watch it both weekends for all I care. I know Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania comes out next Friday, but listen, go watch Magic Mike's Last Dance this weekend, next weekend, on Valentine's Day. You will not be disappointed. Please let me know in the comments which Magic Mike film you prefer. Rank them below, because right now it's like Magic Mike's Last Dance, XXL, and Magic Mike for me. That's how I'm ranking them. If you guys enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. You can always follow me over at AMX NDA Reviews on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. I'll catch you guys next time. Keep watching movies.